first, okay, I've noticed I've got a couple of little issues here when I went to do the video edit. That set of signals that I had made sure were one way, and this train line. I'll point this out now while I think of it. As you remember, right in the last video, I went 1 S T P A S S N G E R T R A I N. I didn't go R. Now, make sure you hit the enter key to lock that in there. Otherwise, you'll end up with it just being line. Well, she's pretty warm today. It's actually Christmas 2014, and when down here in Australia it can get pretty hot at this time of the year. On the Gold Coast it's subtropical, so humidity's up in the low 90s at the moment, and I think we're over 30 degrees. I could be wrong there, and I don't know. All I know is it's very, very hot and humid. Bit of all that. Now, I did mention we were going to how much working capital have I got? About $500,000. I may have to increase my working capital by taking out a loan, which in my normal method of playing I tend to try and avoid doing, but that would drag this out and make it a bit boring for people. But to get things rolling along, I might have to just I don't really want to pay that much for a depot. Just slide along. $20.9 is the cheapest I'm going to do there. Now we need to go over to, that was the forest. Now the sawmill. It would be nice if I could do it there at the same collision. The outside of the bend, the other curve. $8.5 grand. We do that. Now let's have a look at this land use. Where would be the logical place to put a depot in the town? Seeing as the bulk of the goods come to the industrial area, so we drop it at the about 11.1k. This is Tapu Monganui, so when we go to put the, you only need to know that for the depot. I need 2 lines. I've got to remember, if I have anything right here, you can't see it up in that little region. So if I slide that up there, that's partly hidden because when I went to do the video editing, I remembered I hadn't taken into account my face cam was sitting about there. So stuff was getting hidden behind the face cam. Now we already have 1 wood line. So this one will be wood, not wad. 02. Station 1, Station 2. In a minute I'm going to do a modification to that road because at the moment those vehicles are going right into there and then coming back out again. That all adds to time. Now this will be goods O2, right? I don't know why I put the 0 in there. One of the problems I have is that without an integer, and 0 integer in front, these they end up like the original train fever, and they don't trail down nicely. Anyway, again, you can do that however you want. You might want to write the name of the town or whatever in there. I just do this for my convenience so that when I do vehicle replacements later, it works out for me. Okay, Tepe Monganui is the depot is written down here, so I actually use that one. Mayfield's way up the other end of this. We're not going to take a wagon from there, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use 4 to do the wood. Making holes in my working capital. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 4, and later on, if I need to, I can reduce that. I can sell one off if I go to trucks. Because when I do upgrades, that will replace each one of those with a truck. Hit the delete key. And like I said, how long is that wood line at the moment? That's 7 minutes, right? So what I'm going to do, okay, it doesn't show up immediately, but as you can see, I've just taken off a considerable amount of travelling time there. It's sitting at 7 minutes. Still saying 7 minutes, but I just find that over time that will give me a little bit of a saving. I'll travel there and across to there. Okay, we've got this oil line. In this episode, I'm going to do an oil line and set up one steel mill, which is off to the my right a little bit. Not what I wanted. Thinking on a day like this is not particularly great. I mean, it's that hot. 16, 15.8. Alright, let's look at the land use here. Now I can do two things here, right? I can drag that road across there. Which is nice and close to my industrial area, but my depot. I've got to put a depot in somewhere, but 11.1. Right. Where did my oil well disappear to? Oil going there, and then you go, where's the road that goes down here? Oh, it's up there, that's it. The thing is, let's just clarify a few things here. You can play this off the keyboard if you so choose, but I do everything off the mouse because it's the only arm that works. The other one's paralysed. Okay, this is, can you see what I'm saying here? They go line, with no integer. You start doing that and you get down here and you go line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it jumps to line 10, and I personally think it's silly that I can't see why they couldn't have programmed in the zero, so it would have moved everything over. You could have made it look a little bit more, it looks a bit tidier. It's only a case of programming an integer in there. It's not difficult. I suppose that's a bit like how when we first got the game back in September, when horses went across the level crossings where the trains were, they walked clean through the train. But now, obviously now they've had time to fix all that, so that's good. Actually, Train Fever have been very, very good at getting onto their little problems they've had in it, and that's just one that at this stage they haven't done, which I personally, well, I see some people actually name this, whatever the name of the town is, right? Goods or whatever. Where I do it conveniently because I'm doing it because I've got so many mods running on this thing now, and when I go to do my vehicle updates, I need a depot. I'm going to drop it there, 10.3. There's something I can build in there, it's not a big deal. Buy. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to have to borrow some money to get my next lot of vehicles. I'm going to have to borrow now. Actually, I'm going to go to 4, right? So I might as well take this out to 4 million. The reason I don't like doing this is going to, at the next financial year, the end of the financial year, that's going to hit me for 40 grand worth of interest. Well, 02, 1, 2, 3, 4. Set all these to goods 04. The only reason I tend to do that is, actually I probably don't need, looking at that, I probably can get away with 3 on goods 4, right? I'm going to sell one of those back to the depot and go for it on 3. Okay, it's only 8 minutes. Hey? Yeah, well done. Goods 04, right. Just check this out. You'll find one will go back, so go to the depot. It hasn't returned as yet. It'll return there in a minute and I'll sell it. Get my money back. For a partly used horse and wagon. There we go. Once it goes in the depot I can flick it. There. And watch up there, I'll get 1.2k, right? You normally don't get your full amount. Horse to sell is about 1.2k and they charge you 20, so you lose $800 on it. But anyway, that's all well worked out. And you see those dudes tunneling off to the oil. Now, okay. Excuse me. I'm going to put my depot in here for my goods items. Seems to be, I think I might just upgrade the road here. I got this skinny road. Try and get your upgrading, if you can, done in early, because sometimes you can't get it in after you put your building in there. 11.9 sounds like a reasonable amount. Now, yeah, we're gonna have possibly a little bit of a problem. Some of the coal's going to end up there, unless we buy a myriad of wagons. But there's a little way around here. It's our iron ore, our steel mill. I know I'm going to go back to, I remember saying in the previous video that the goods from the sawmill were going in two different directions. I've got to make sure that I actually set it up properly. I noticed that was already producing goods and they were walking into town. Let's just set this up. Everything that moves, try to move it yourself, because you get paid for it. I did see a video by somebody early on in the piece when this first came out saying, oh, you don't need to do that. Well, I'm sorry, I don't agree. If they're going to pay us to move it and we're already transporting stuff, to me it just seems logical to grab it and move it. I normally wouldn't say somebody's wrong, but I would say on that particular occasion they are wrong. And the object of the game is to try and make money and build the cities. And how you do that is by having your vehicles do it for you. See this? No point me pointing my finger, but that there is being walked down. You get nothing back. You get nothing for that, and it'll end up being dropped off at a depot along the way, and then you've got to try and move it from there. On order there, right? So we've got two being dropped off, one being picked up. Okay. I need a road depot. 11.2, 10.9. Like if you, I mean, you can go and stick these depots wherever you want them. This is just the way I prefer to do it. When you start adding and pricing them up to me, this was just logical. It was a bit of a no-brainer for me. Coal 01, right? 1, 2, 3. And as you roll over, you make sure you got the right one so you can see it highlight. The highlight down there, right? Just watch, there we go. So we know we're going off to the right. Too hot. Much too hot. Did I send vehicle for good line? Nope. That's what we didn't do. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do something a little bit different here, because if the coal and the ore start arriving there, and you can always turn it off at the main town depot, which you'll possibly find will do, because this is the first depot they come to, and I'm going to speed it up to show you, right? I'll just open that up so I've got it ready. Look at that. It's handy to have on, but I just multicoloured streets sort of I find a bit irritating after 10-15 minutes. I've never experienced this a winter with snow, so I have no idea how you people in the Northern Hemisphere do it. Believe me, if you've never had one of these, you don't want them. The cold disappeared to them. It didn't arrive in here. Now we've got a heap of the stuff coming. It obviously left. Oh, this is an irritating way it does it. It will often send a wagon or a truck to the receiving. Here we go. You can see what's happening here. Goods drop off depot. So we're going to just click that like that for now. So if when the wagon comes in with the gold, not the gold, but the goods, it'd be nice if it was gold. We might pay a bit more for it. To make gold, there is a mod that comes out. It's called the cargo mod, and I'll tell you what. You've got to go around getting bits of this and bits of that, and it becomes extremely frustrating very quickly. I'm going to let that run for a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this, because all the wagons go to the res. Okay. Let's kill. This is one of the downsides to the way I do it with the depots. I do have, if they do race off to the receiving depot first, then I end up going around in circles. But anyway, let's have a quick look at this. Now I'm going to need more money in the. I might take that to 5 million. I hate doing this. Just the thought of this doing the grinds on me is shocking. Okay, the replacement vehicle is going to be the blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to say it. We'll call it a Pilcher or a Renault, okay? I think it's French. Make sure you click the yes, otherwise it won't activate. The other thing too is I think if you don't have enough money in there, they don't activate either in the bank. You're not running into that sort of problem. Just that these steam coaches, they go a little bit quicker and they carry extra passengers though. As far as your people moving goes, we get rid of it. Now if a goods vehicle arrives back here, you'll start seeing it and actually pick those up and get rid of them for you. Right, let's just concentrate here. 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. That looks like a goods one there. Yeah, it was, okay, and that'll get rid of some of that that's arriving there, right? Just keep that in mind there because what will happen if you eventually do a catch up and get rid of all that stuff and there's nothing there for it to wait for, it'll take the goods back with it. You know, anyway, it's a temporary fix to running a limited number of wagons. I normally find that only really happens with the coal and the iron ore going off to where a steel mill is situated like this.
Oh yeah.
This is the Borsig. I'm going to find my train depot and I'll point something out here. This is why I skipped the straight up to the Iron Horse. Now if you want to get your mods, go to Train Fever Community and just grab the ones you need, alright? Right. Okay, the little Spanish dude goes 40 kilometers an hour. The Borsig does 45, alright? Our Iron Horse does 85. This has got a lifespan here of 30 years. It's only 150k a year to run. This is 200k. This takes you a little bit longer to actually get you. But because of the frequency it runs at, you actually do get an advantage in it because people want to get on that train and get to the next town quickly. They don't want to be mucking around. Okay. And I was saying about with trucks having, like I'm not using trains to move coal, you know, very expensive because if a coal mine dries up, or like an iron ore mine dries up, and here's what I found. If I did this in the early days, I was running trains to get oil, coal, and iron ore, etc. If the mines dry up, you've got an awful lot of infrastructure laying on the ground, and to blow up all this rail is expensive. You know, you can delete it all, but it costs you money to do that. I'm not a big fan of moving things via, where's my next town? Kawakawa is up here. I could. Mind you, I did say I was going to go to Papakura, didn't I? Which means I'd need to come around this way. And again, I'm going to, yeah, see, that was what I was saying yesterday, not yesterday, it was actually yesterday when I was doing that tutorial. I lose track of the days. I need to have, let's just upgrade a bit of roadies so we can do this. Yeah, I know, that's annoying, it all disappeared, so where'd it go? Before I do that, I'm going to put land use on. So that's where the industrial, it's all coming to there, right? I've got another line coming here too. So I might quickly set these up in this video. I don't want this video to run forever, that's all. I've noticed I'm getting out to 30 minutes, and I know when I'm watching a video, if it drags out, I tend to lose interest and I don't tend to think it's too long to watch it. So this is good 06. Mind you, if it's helpful, then I suppose it's worthwhile. You've got a longer attention span than that, then you're going to be fine. I'll slide that up there. Add that. Okay, we need a depot here. $10.9. Bearing in mind we're going to be bringing a train in here later. And where am I going to set the station up? I normally like to put my passenger stations near the residential because they will walk to the train if need be. If you don't get your bus set up quickly. 10.4, 10.3, 1, 2, 3. Good, 6. What I'm doing this, here we go. You're gonna make a liar of me, you little twerp. Normally they go over here, then go up down there. I've been noticing that since they were fine right back in the early days was when I started it, when I thought I'd do this way. But then we had an update, and they started going over here, and I thought, hey, this is weird. Now we got another the forest here. Now which forest is supplying? It's not doing anything yet. Production is at 0. By the look of it, that one is at 1. That could be the forest that's supplying this sawmill. Let's just quickly fire this in here and we'll get and then we'll get a second line of goods coming into Papakura. The more you can bring to a town, the faster it goes. Well, that's fairly logical actually. You want growth. This will be wood. Oh, 3. Right. And those when it does a year, ticks over a year, thing hangs for a minute. And that's possibly because I only run a little, mine's only an i5, and I'm running OBS in the background. Mind you, it's got 20 gig of RAM in it. That's the nice part about the iMac. I can flip the RAM out of the bottom and just keep adding to it. And I'm going to possibly in the new year whack it up back up to the 30, not back up to, I intended to take it up to 32 gigs. And if I can get the screen off it, I might even try an SSD on there. The trouble is I don't want to do an SSD at this point in time. Now we're up to goods line number 7. So what did you all have for Christmas? Anybody get anything exciting? And we want to use the Papakura depot to run this one. My son got in early and he got me a copy of A Train. And I'm trying to get my head around that as well as do this. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. It's sort of different again. Same style of game, but different again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll concentrate here, Gordon. We will try to do one thing at a time. Just flicking all over the place like a little. Okay. He bought me A Train. I got Train Simulator. The problem is I can't play, well I can play Train Simulator, but I can't build any lines like I can here. This is everything I do here. I just use the one mouse. I don't need any fingers. Because this arm's paralysed. It didn't work. Okay, we're getting 16 to 24 goods for here, right? But I've actually noticed you can actually push that even higher. This is 24, it doesn't mean that's all it's ever going to take. Okay, I just had something happen there. Okay, I'm having a profitable period, look. Making 461 a year, but okay, here's my argument. If I'm making 461 and I'm losing 50 grand, I'm always going to have vehicle maintenance, right? But if I'm losing 50 grand, oh look at that, 50 grand in interest, well I didn't make it, man, did I? Oh, it jumped over here. I made 542. 542, take that out of there, you can bowl that out, would have been 592, so I would have actually been a lot better off. These are pretty much, these are your fixed costs. That really is a variable in as much as that. If you can wipe this out, yeah, I know I go on about that a lot because I suppose it's like in life, you know. You're living off your credit card, you're paying too much money. Now how are we going to bring this train in here? It's going to come in. I might extend this line out here a bit, this road. If your Visa card is maxed out, proportionately you're paying a lot of money, and probably a bit too long. Let's get this set up so that I can work out where I'm going to put everything. Yeah, so I play the game the same way as I think that, and that's not to be offensive to people that use their credit card. But simple maths, 1 + 1, you know. You can't squeeze more out of a stone, well you can't squeeze anything out of a stone really, but you can't get, if your outgoings exceed your income, and this game will only ever let you borrow up to a maximum of $10 million, and you hit that, you're basically, it's very, very, I did it one day to see what would happen, to see if I could get back into the green. See how those houses are brightening up in colours? Because by doing this, I'm actually making them more valuable. I'm going to think, oh well, we're getting a bus line come through. The people are getting excited. They're out in the streets celebrating. See that? Okay. I'm taking it over here. here pretty much. Might slow this back down to normal speed actually. I'm actually hearing through it pretty quickly. Okay, back to my same method of how many buses have I got? I'm up. This will be bus line 05, right? There's one. BUS 05. Well, we're going to start our bus line out from the other side of town. Might just turn that off for a minute, so I can sort of not hiding under the. Green. Now that will change out of there. Don't worry that went to the depot. That will come out of there. I'm planning I haven't gone up and down every street. If you get buses going to and from, or coaches in this case, they will cross over each other, and they do get around. What the people tend to do is they go from here to wherever they go, and then back home again. Instead of going from work to the shops, they'll go home. What was the last one? It was 20, wasn't it? It's always annoying when it does that. Then finish it up, just sort of. You don't have to click on one again, because it'll go to the end of the street there and do its turning around thing. Now this one will be bus 6. Get rid of that a minute. Where can I start? I've done this before today because I want it to go in the opposite direction, right? Start at 23. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Where'd somebody stolen 7? The bus signs thief has been out there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now it's 23 and it'll go back exactly the same number of stops, right? And by doing that, if you have a look, when you see it running, they actually run in opposing directions. Okay, I'm doing it again, hiding behind that little thing. You know, I'll do it probably. Yeah, the dog will come over and do that too loud. I have got a depot here I'm about to go, haven't I? Okay, we're going to use these dudes. We'll go 3 in each direction, alright? With buses, I don't think, because you're moving people, I don't think you can have too many. As long as you're they're on a 7-minute run cycle. Remember, people are probably the most profitable item you can move. But we'll quickly, and then this will be it. I'm going to stop. I'm going to go and sit somewhere else the rest of the day. I'm trying to go and find somewhere that's nice and cool. Yeah, I got air conditioning, but it makes you cough and sneeze. I'd like to go and spend some time with my family on Christmas Day. Now with your train line, you want to try and hit everything pretty square. If you're new to the game, bear this in mind, you can't pull a road over a train line, right? Ask me what sort of, I got a choice of those that, now I got a problem here. I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Where you split the line, when they get splitting them like that, you know, a separation like that, if you ever want to join them up again, you want it nice and seamless in the middle here, right? Aim for that. Keep it nice and even. Because if you don't, and you go to put a crossover in there at some stage for any reason, they want to join that line to that one, they won't join. Okay. Don't like that bridge. I do like that one. Okay, where's my town that's up here? I'm going to have to do a left swing here, right? Well, 102 kilometres an hour at this stage is not a big issue. Mind you, down the track when you start getting into high speed lines, you can come in here and tell it to upgrade the line by clicking it. They charge you a pretty penny to do that. Again, that's a mod situation here, or I'm getting 2 of those. If you only get one, don't panic. That is normal. I'm abnormal. I'm on the... We'll go up that way, up that way a little bit with it because it's otherwise we're going to go through a whole heap of line crossings, so level crossings. I really don't want to do that. I'd rather just have the one. Curve in there, and I hate that happening. And I'm going to do this very slowly in sections because I don't want, that's what I didn't want to happen. you know what's going on here? I didn't have my contour lines on. Not very smart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drag it like that until they connect. Sometimes, there we go, we got it to work. Not the ideal situation, but yeah, I've had to do that a few times. Rejoin it. You take, otherwise you're left with a nub sticking out. And they come in this way around there. That looks alright. You're going to go, you'll slow down on that corner. Now, I remember why I wanted to go to Pilcher first, because if I remember rightly, passenger train line 1 starts there at Mayfield, right? Now you just add Papakura.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, to you too. Hey, I'm busy. At Papakura. I didn't set up any, we've got to go back in here and do some little, now we want it to go back and stop at this other state, otherwise it'll just return straight to Mayfield. You want to stop on the way. I know we've got a little problem here. Okay, the train pulls into there. While it's unloading, a second train can come up to the sort of signals there, right? Now, these are the best 3K you'll ever spend. Because it allows, we only got 2 trains running here at the minute. You get multiple, you know, more than 2 trains running on here, they're going to end up stopping way back further than you want. And it slows your line down considerably. You don't want that. Itch. Now we'll start to see this train. These trains, these 2 that are on this line, going to here, and you'll probably find that I may need to add a second one, a 3rd train. Did I put? Oh yeah, I've got those. See, they carry 6 people as opposed to 5 on the yeah, that's steam powered. There are mods to change the sound of some of the vehicles, and they're actually quite good. I've changed some of them. There's actually an ambient mod that I did see, but I haven't gone back. You've got to remove all that music from the folder, that's in the music folder. To do it. Where are those trains from? Okay, this train is going to be the first of the trains to go to... It hasn't upgraded as yet. I'm going to set that to 25 because I'm going to try and give it a bit of a hurry along. And I've done that, and I know that it works doing that trick. But it can't do it until it stops at the station and it's empty. Where is my other train? Okay. It's going through that tricky little pass that we had problems with, you know, where I couldn't get the lines to match up. Jeff's still got the terrain lines on there. You're building lines out like that. That was a bit silly on my part. I should have had them on to start with. I could have lined it up a lot better. I would have probably cut through there a bit lower on that hill. I'm going to show you these difference in these railway crossings. That one there is a modern version, alright? And as you get on a bit, you'll get ones got flashing lights and burn gates and what are we up to? 1865. Okay, in 3 sessions we've gone almost 16 years. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. I don't know whether there'll be anybody waiting at this station. I'm going to point something out there. I've had a while ago, I was watching a video, and this is not Mombi complaining, this is some other guy. That is perfectly normal to build a berm like that to keep the line flat. And often in the old days, you have a look at a lot of old railway buildings, they would the line would sit up on the berm, so if they ever had a flood, the train, you know, heavy rainwater, the train could still pass through. Actually, I like the way they've done this. Turn that off a minute. I'm just going to speed it up. I'm going to go to just let it tick to 1866. Here comes our little train. All right, good. Look at that. We've already got people waiting at this station. Actually, I don't know, let's check something. Now that we have a extra, we're running at 12 minutes on that line. I don't want to spend a whole, I don't want to, I'm going to watch this here to see if I get a morphing in the train comes in as it empties out. You can literally see it morph from one form of train to another if it does that. There it goes. It disappeared for a second. Now that's going to go a bit faster. And you have a look here. We were going to run at 12 minutes, right? It's down to 11 with one of those trains, right? We chopped a minute off that cycle time. If you went to the Borsa, you'd be running still at 11 minutes, believe me, with that minimal speed variation there. Yep. There we go. Now see, look at that. We're down to 10 minutes. We've cut 2 minutes off that. It's going to take a wee while for that to make some money, believe me. Just follow this one up. Now, this particular train, you can keep upgrading it right through to, I think it's 1956, and all the diesels and electrics coming out. What I could have done then, I could have upgraded the carriages. I didn't upgrade the carriages. Actually, that's just giving me an idea. I think I've got a carriage replacement. Set vehicle, yeah, I've got these Bavaria. So we'll go to 1, 2, 3. We probably don't really need that many on there. I don't know how many passengers we're actually carrying on this train at this point in time. Doing the carriages takes a little bit longer to do. The alternative, I could have sent it into the depot and sold those carriages off. Okay, I've got a full train now. I'm actually getting... take the train from the station back to the depot, you've got to be really quick on the pause button and direct it straight back there, and then you just go to the manually selling the stuff. But anyway, happy to do it. 1866, I'm going to... July 1866. Okay, we got nobody on our platform. They got the coach was a bit late getting them there. Oh, they were the ones walking off here. Yeah, we got one going. I have experimented with over a similar distance, you know, like adding perhaps another from to there, or taking a line and not using the same line to say this town, having a second passenger line which runs opposing that one, and it actually worked out very, very well. Anyway, that's my lot. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to go and enjoy Christmas Day, the rest of Christmas Day. Have a good one. See ya. Remember, if you learned something and it's helped you, thumbs up.